Art is so incredible because it can literally make you feel and experience things that you normally wouldn't have. I've been in situations where my characters have been through genocides, have been through wars, have also, been lawyers and queens and kings and like a range of different characters. So I think even when I was a child and I knew I wanted to be an artist, one of the things that attracted me to that was that I could be anything I wanted. I could be a hairstylist, I could be somebody on the radio, I could do anything, I could be a lawyer, Being an artist, an actor, has really just broadened my range in emotion, in imagination, imagining myself in situations that I otherwise would have never. And it also has added to the empathy that I feel for people. Like I can easily understand what somebody's going through because I have the tendency of putting myself in their shoes or seeing it from another POV and understanding it deeply. So those are the things that, I've been gifted through this line of work.
Commonwealth, the people of the charter, we the people who believe in bishyira hejuru mu majuru bihimbiye kandi twese turi bamwe.
This is my award. It says 2024 Arts and Culture Excellence Award. Not regular, not basic, excellence. Hello, my name is Malaika Uwamahoro, and I am an award-winning artist from Rwanda, and this is my journey. Well, I grew up in an artist family. My grandmother's a tailor, my mother's an interior designer, my uncles are visual artists, and my aunts were performing artists. So I just grew up in a really, really vibrant home, and I think from a young age I always knew that I wanted to be an artist of some sort. And when I was at school and going to church, I would always be part of the talent shows and things like that. And let's say it was like a Christmas show about about Jesus and everything, I would scoop the main roles. I would be Jesus. If it was a Martin Luther King show, I would be Martin Luther King. So it doesn't matter if it was a woman or a man, I would always get the main parts and play them and really have a good time. So I think at a very young age I knew that I wanted to be in the arts. And then when I joined Mashirika Performing Arts, we were doing a show about Rwanda called Africa's Hope. And I think that's when I realized what kind of artist I wanted to be. I always wanted to, have art that had a message and that was inspiring and that could speak to the people, because I realized the power of art. Art can create trends, but what kind of trends are you trying to create? After Mashirika Performing Arts, I also joined Spoken Word Rwanda, and I was writing my own material and performing it on this platform, and from there it kind of just took off. So it's hard to pinpoint my journey on one single event that totally changed my life, but I just know that these platforms really, really did help accelerate where I was going, so I'm forever grateful. Well, I think I always had a vision. I've always had a vision of, the fact that I wanted to be an artist. And so I've always known that, I'm gonna have to take my own journey or a different way than, other people and what they wanted to do. Like, for me, it has always been art. There is no plan B necessarily. I mean, there are things that I do in the business world, but they're all always linked to art. So, you know, I was very, very fortunate to get a presidential scholarship to study theater and performing arts. And this is something that I also believe hugely contributed to my success as an artist, because not only do I love the arts and I'm so passionate about it, I also had the opportunity to study in my field and really get to understand, you know, my field and work on and off Broadway and, you know, participate as an actress in many films, I could say. Not as many as I want yet, but we're getting there.
Il laisse son sang pourrir et sécher par la terre.
Can you tell us about your top 3 favorite roles that you know that you feel like you had a really great connection with those characters, and why?
Top 3. I would like to start with my character from a play called Le bruit des eaux qui craquent. This is a play written by Suzanne Lebeau, and I was playing a child soldier. And the reason I really love that character is because I played my character when I think I was like 23, and I was supposed to play an 8-year-old. And this is an 8-year-old who's going through some really difficult times. But one thing I really appreciated about that character is that I got to be a child again, you know, and even in these difficult circumstances, like I was seeing the world from a child's POV, and it was just so fun to live as a child again and think as a child again. And I remember, like, you know, sometimes my character would be too tired to move and the other characters were like forcing me to move. And, you know, just really going into the mind and the body of an 8-year-old and, you know, going through these difficulties, but also being able to tell a really important story through the eyes of a child, I think was really amazing for me to be a part of and to see. Another character that I liked, well, I've played the role of a son before in a play at school, in uni actually, and I think it was really interesting to just be the thing that brings light and warmth and heat. And it was just so fun and so beautiful to be. And yeah, sometimes it's nice to think of yourself as not necessarily a person, but an energy, you know, an energy and what you give and what you take. I think those are some really, it was just a different perspective, you know. We're so used to seeing people play people roles, but it was really interesting to be the son. Yeah, I think I'll just say those are my top 2. And also, I actually had the opportunity to act as Immaculée Ilibadiza, who is a survivor of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi here in Rwanda. And that was an incredible experience because it was a one-woman show, and I got to act 18 different characters. I had to be a child, I had to be an old man, I had to be an Interahamwe, had to be a victim, had to be a survivor, had to be so many things. And I think that play showed me how much range I have as an actor in terms of the body work I can do, the voice work I can do, and yeah, the depth of my emotional vocabulary. The most recent film I've been a part of is Al-Kebulan.
Walk with pride. Remember, descendants of giants, we come from abundance and never deny it. Activate, come alive. It's your destiny, I promise you a light. Remember, descendants of giants, we come from abundance and never deny it.
And I think one of the most exciting things about it for me was when I read the script, and it was very Pan-African. It was all the things I dreamed of in terms of like creatives coming together to write a story about Africa and, you know, the emancipation of Africa. And I was so amazed and thrilled and excited to be a part of that because I feel like it's a very necessary story that needs to be told. And one thing that was exciting about my role is I'm Zarina in the movie, and I'm the brains of the group. I'm the nerd, cute nerd, but I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd in the film, and yeah, it was really, really amazing to be part of an African story, and I can't wait for you all to see it. I think there's been a lot of challenges, but also I think I've really come to the other side of them. So they have just helped me grow a lot. I think one of the original challenges that I faced was like when I used to put myself in studio surroundings and showing up as a young girl in a studio and trying to make music. Like sometimes the producers would try to like hit on you or try to take advantage of you in a situation. And so I think that's why actually for a long time I hadn't done like a lot of music, because I wanted to be in a situation where I felt safe and in a situation where I felt like I wasn't going to be taken advantage of, or my projects were not going to be held because I wasn't willing to give up something. So other than my talent. I think that, but now I think that I kind of have grown, and I kind of know how to handle those situations and how to avoid those interactions. And other challenges I'd say is especially here in East Africa or in Rwanda specifically, I think we're growing as an arts industry, but we have very, very limited opportunities right now, which is something that, as an artist myself, I'm trying to work on to make sure that we can continue to create a lot of opportunities, not just for myself, but for future artists coming up. So just creating more opportunities to do art here, in Rwanda, in Africa, the world. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Mais Goretti pense que tout ça, c'est encore une invention de Blanc. Sa mère lui a dit que les gorilles étaient bien les hommes. Mais ensuite, ils se sont enfuis dans la forêt et on ne sait pas pourquoi, mais ils ont oublié d'être des hommes.
Definitely I've touched people's hearts and they've touched mine in return. I do get a lot of messages on Instagram, on Twitter, like in my DMs, like young girls and young men, boys telling me that, I inspire them to write, I inspire them to do poetry, to do art. And those are always really, encouraging and sweet messages. And sometimes I do the work and, I'm just doing what I do, and then I get so much good feedback and I can tell the work is impacting people, and I really love that. So I don't know if there's like one particular person who I've completely swayed into pursuing the arts, but if they're there, shout out, big up, and thank you, and come join the party. It's amazing here. It's tough, but it's amazing, and I hope to definitely make more impact and bring more change. And art is a transformative tool, so I feel like it can guide people into a different way of thinking, a different way of feeling. And I'm just happy to be in a line of work that creates impact and changes the way people think and feel. My advice would be, especially if you're just starting off, show up. Show up, make sure people can see you, make sure you're putting in rehearsal time. I think more than anything, more than the shows, the most precious time for an actor or for you know, a live performer is the rehearsal time. It's the time you put in the craft to make sure that you're as good as you need to be for the show. So I would say rehearse, 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 and show up, show up, show up, show up, show up. And I'll see you when I see you.